Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. My friends, XRP ain't going anywhere. I know that times are scary out there in markets for typical retail speculators. I get that. Price go down, scare, got it. But this has nothing to do with long-term viability. It has nothing to do with fundamentals. And what we're seeing is an increased adoption. In fact, I just saw today, and this is really something that is cool. I think it could really lead to a long-term viability of the XRP ledger as a whole. And it's the development of the first ever decentralized private equity fund. And again, it's being built on the XRP ledger. So anyway, there's actually plenty to unpack in this video, including another topic I found interesting, which I'll save towards the later part of the video. But given that Bitcoin and crypto markets do follow equities, they follow the stocks, why is it that stocks continue to tank as Bitcoin seems to, at least for now, have bottomed out? And look, I'm not making a prediction in terms of, where's the bottom for Bitcoin? Have we already seen it? I'm not even speaking. I don't pretend to know. But that's what's happened to this point, and it's interesting. And so there's this thread that got a lot of attention that I thought was kind of interesting, had a unique approach. So I'm going to share that with you at the end of the video. But before going further, I do want to be clear, I do not have a financial background of any kind. I'm not offering financial advice, and you definitely should not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. I'm just an enthusiast who enjoys making YouTube videos about crypto-related topics, but just as a hobby and just for fun. Now, here's a tweet from an XRP community member named Jordan Harry, who wrote the following. Then there's this 32-second video, but I'm not going to play the video. It's not necessary. Just getting the message across that's in the tweet is more than sufficient. And he wrote the following: "I'll just leave this here." And then he tags Link2. Now, Link2 is a firm you may have heard of before. I've talked about them on this channel. It's just that they're a private equity firm, so you can actually buy Ripple, the company, from Link2. Now, of course, you have to be an accredited investor because Ripple, the company, is not a publicly traded company at this point in time, though I think it will be in the future. But you can purchase it through Link2. And so check this out. Jordan wrote the following: Link2 are building the first decentralized private equity exchange built on the XRP ledger. And here's a quote from Bill Sarah, CEO of Link2. "This next level is going to take us to a huge next level." So here's the thing. And we don't know for sure if this is going to work, or if it'll be adopted, long-term viability, but all sorts of stuff is being tried. And I have said many times before, like, all you need for a cryptocurrency to have long-term viability is for it to take hold for one use case, for one purpose. That's it. And in terms of the XRP ledger, even setting aside the token, something like this would help to ensure certainly, the continued viability of the XRP ledger itself. And if that happens, I think that's just going to cement XRP as a fixture in the world of crypto for decades to come, if not longer than that. Maybe XRP is going to be around 100 years from now, functionally being used. That would be the hope. It really could have long-term viability. No way to know for sure how this is all going to unfold. And I'm always honest about it. I don't think enough people in the space are honest about the degree to which they don't know for sure, but it's the truth. Like, just be honest about it. Be intellectually honest. You don't have to try and make yourself look like some sort of all-knowing wizard from the future. Like, that's kind of silly to me. But just look at what is being built here. So if something like this takes hold, again, XRP native to the XRP ledger. If the XRP ledger is being used for other stuff, yeah. And plus, it's an easy off-ramp, right? It would be used. And plus, if you're talking about setting up trust lines, XRP is required for that. So XRP functionally be used as a result of this. It's just astonishing stuff here. And then there was also this. This came from an XRP community member named Ashley, who wrote, "It's all connected. Ripple's partner Accenture joins up with Swift to write paper on central bank digital currencies. Swift then collaborates with Capgemini, who a year early wrote a report recommending Ripple's XRP to send money." And this topic actually was covered also by Cointelegraph. Here's an article. I don't feel like I need to go through the article, but it was titled "Swift, Capgemini team up to test using the International Network for Central Bank Digital Currencies." I will read the last sentence, though. Check this out. "Many developers foresee central bank digital currencies interacting outside the traditional network, potentially with the aid of Ripple's XRP." Now, of course, it's not Ripple's XRP unless you're referencing that XRP which Ripple holds, which is not what they were doing. It's just XRP, not Ripple's XRP. But setting aside that little pet peeve of mine, I've thought about this quite a bit. And Swift, I don't know for sure if they're going to go extinct. Because here's the thing, look, they don't have a solution for settlement. They literally have no fix for the train wreck that is settlement. But Ripple came up with the first solution, the first change after over 50 years of Swift existing. Now there's finally a new opportunity thanks to existing technology to utilize XRP as a bridge currency, eliminating the need for pre-funding accounts because XRP markets, as long as they're sufficiently liquid in the markets you're participating in, yeah, you're good to go. You can just use it. And I admit that at this early stage of crypto, XRP is not sufficiently liquid, but crypto markets keep getting bigger, so I think that problem fixes itself over time. But Swift doesn't have a solution for settlement. It's just pre-funded, the Nostra accounts. That's it. So what are they going to do? Well, at this stage in the game, if they want to remain relevant, they want to solve the settlement portion, which is going to be a requirement in the world moving forward, I believe. You're going to have to use a cryptocurrency. And why not use the one that's most liquid and designed for payments, which would be XRP? So like the idea of Swift using XRP at some point in the future, I don't know if they're going to, but if they don't, what's their solution for settlement? Nothing. There is nothing else. Humans haven't devised another solution other than using a decentralized cryptocurrency that has an open market price. Because it eliminates a lot of the trust issues. Because there's a reason that you're not going to have, if you're a remittance firm or a bank, you don't have a relationship with every other financial entity on the entire planet. There's over 11,000 of them. You can't build those relationships, nor could you reasonably trust all of them. It doesn't mean all of them are trustworthy even. Maybe you shouldn't trust some of them. But if you're just talking about XRP as a bridge currency, you eliminate the need to build those relationships in the first place just by using XRP as a bridge. You're solving a huge portion of the trust problem. It's genius, right? And so Swift has nothing on that. So what do you think is going to happen? Are they just going to plug in cryptocurrency? Are they going to use plug in market makers that have liquidity for XRP? I don't see how you maintain your organization. I don't see how you continue to exist if you don't do that or do something. You're going to have to do something. If not that, you tell me what. But I wouldn't be surprised at all if we do see them using XRP in the future. And also take a look at this. It's so beautiful. Like, when it comes to XRP, it just works, folks. It really does just work. We don't have to worry about a lot of this other crap like many other cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin, have to worry about like energy usage and block size and this and that and constant forks occurring, all this stuff. Well, look at this tweet from a guy named Jason. Breaking. The chair of the CFTC said Bitcoin uses too much energy compared to the economic value of the digital asset, and that ESG disclosures provided to purchasers of digital assets could help move the industry to proof of stake. Now, folks, I don't know that Bitcoin's going to ever move to proof of stake. That seems kind of far-fetched, at least at this point in time. I don't think you're going to see that move by and large. And plus, there's other ways to achieve consensus, solve the double spin problem without moving to proof of stake. XRP solved it. Like, you can come to consensus without proof of stake, right? Just by the majority of nodes on the XRP ledger agreeing at the order in which transactions occurred. And the order doesn't really matter. We just need a sufficient agreement so that you can make forward progress. The order doesn't actually matter, because even if a validator or a node on the XRP ledger saw an order come in at a different in a different order than another node on the planet, which will happen because there's a lag time on the planet. If you place a phone call on one side of the planet, you're on one side of the planet to somebody on the other side of the planet, there's a little bit of a lag time. Well, just for reasons like that, there's nodes all over the planet. They're not going to see orders come in at the same time. But if the majority sees a particular order, that's how you make forward progress. You're just like, okay, close enough, because the order functionally doesn't matter. You just need to agree so you can make forward progress. Because what's the worst thing that happens? You're like, but no, mine was first, and you're saying that this other one was first. Okay, well, wait 3 to 5 seconds, another ledger closes, and it gets written to the ledger permanently anyway. So what do you lose? There's no downside to this. You just need to be able to make forward progress here. So you don't have all these problems that you have, like the energy problem. And so I actually retweeted this, and I was like, I am so glad that XRP doesn't have to worry about this energy hog stuff here. And in fact, Brad Garlinghouse, he tweeted the following kind of on this topic, because look, Ripple committed, I'm not going to read the article, I don't think it's necessary, but Ripple committed $100 million to modernize carbon markets globally. And so Brad Garlinghouse, Ripple CEO, wrote the following. Today, Ripple is committing to invest $100 million to modernize carbon markets globally through investing in carbon removal companies and supporting growth in carbon credit tokenization functionality. Hear me out. NFTs aren't just about digital art. Carbon offset markets are expected to grow to $550 billion by 2050. And we've seen firsthand how crypto and blockchain can solve issues with fraud and inefficiencies and bring transparency and scalability to carbon credits just the same as other real-world use cases like payments. So look, I'm just glad that as far as the energy concerns go in the world of crypto, one less thing that XRP is confronted with. We just don't have to worry about that. And then there was this. I'm going to be brief on this because I made a whole video about this, but it's worth mentioning it since we're just sitting here talking about the awesomeness that is XRP and the XRP ledger. There's a new on-demand liquidity quarter that was set up. I'm just going to mention it real quickly because I think a lot of you know by now, but it's worth mentioning for those of you that don't. There's a new on-demand liquidity quarter, which of course requires the usage of XRP, enabling payments and settlement between Europe and Mexico. So while the SEC is attacking XRP and XRP holders and Ripple and all that, real-world adoption is taking hold. And so as long as XRP continues to be useful, it doesn't matter how low markets go. I think markets will eventually figure things out as maturation occurs. And XRP is going to be here so long as it's solving these real-world problems, which is why today I am not the least bit afraid to hold XRP. And XRP community member Frecky shared the following. What majority do not understand? You invest in utility early. You simply stack and wait for realization. It's simple. However, most can't emotionally handle it. This market isn't for nervous or emotional investors. Those investors will get eaten alive and chopped to death. Hashtag HBAR, hashtag XRP. So he's a big fan of both of those cryptocurrencies, as am I. I hold both, actually. Utility matters and will win the day. I've said it over and over and over again, and it's true. It's just going to take time to see this. But that's why, look at all the stuff I'm highlighting here. Real-world adoption with XRP, technologically superior for payments compared to any other cryptocurrency on the entire planet. What do you think is going to happen? And then there was this from somebody named Jogi. And this thread got circulated pretty heavily, and it was an interesting perspective, so I thought I'd share it. And this individual wrote the following. This has to do with, is Bitcoin bottomed out? How come it's bottomed out if stocks are continuing to tank and Bitcoin's supposed to follow stocks? What's going on there? And he said the following. Traditional finance people are confused that Bitcoin held between $29,000 and $30,000 while stocks keep tanking. To me, that is no surprise. Here's why. In traditional finance, Bitcoin is seen as a high-risk asset, like a tech stock. Traditional finance folks seem to think that when stocks go down, so must Bitcoin. But Bitcoin is incredibly cheap already. And I'll just pause to note this before going further. I do believe it's provably the case that Bitcoin and the crypto market does follow stocks. I think that it's easy to prove that is the case. But even so, I'll note, and I've said this before many times too, it's not going. Crypto won't necessarily follow stocks down to the second, the minute, the day of the week, so on and so forth. So if you zoom out on a chart, it'll look very correlated because it is. But over shorter time periods, it may not. And so he's giving an explanation here, and I'm going to keep going through this. He's giving an explanation as to why we're seeing that difference right now. So he said the following. Here we go. Here we go. Bitcoin is 1.6 standard deviations below trend adoption already. Last time it was this cheap was in March 2020. And then he wrote that data's from 2014 to today, and he wrote for reference, $23,500 is 2 standard deviations below trend. Bitcoin at $13,700, that would be 3 standard deviations below. So again, he said it's 1.6 standard deviations below trend adoption already. And he shared this chart too. If you want to pause and look at it, feel free. I'm going to keep moving along though. And then he said the following. Stocks are above trend. The NASDAQ has moved from 1.3 standard deviations above trend to slightly above. There's a whole lot of room to the left. Stocks can fall much further by this metric. And so here's a chart that he shares. The data's from 1971 from today. So again, Bitcoin is saying it's 1.6 standard deviations below the trend line. In stocks, they're right about at the trend line currently. So that means that there's more room to the downside. That's what he's saying. And then he continues. A similar story for the S&P 500, which has just returned to trend from 0.8 standard deviations above. There's a lot of room left to fall. And again, data on this one here, I'll make that full screen for just a moment. And he said also data for this is from 1971 to today. And then he wrote, what does that mean? Bitcoin is much cheaper than stocks are. Stocks have much further to fall until they can be considered cheap. Stocks dropping and Bitcoin setting a floor at $25,000 to $30,000 will confuse many traditional finance people. That's because they are wrong about Bitcoin. Bitcoin is not a risk-on asset. It is a competitor to the US dollar for base layer money and as such, risk off. Therefore, you might see a price floor being set going forward at the same time when your precious stonks throw a tantrum. I thought it was a pretty interesting take on it, so we'll see what happens here. It doesn't mean that Bitcoin for sure is bottomed out, but I will say most people at this point think that, at least pretty much I think maybe literally everyone that I follow either thinks that we've already seen the bottom or we're about there and it's not going to dip much lower. Like it's harder and harder to find these people that are doomsdayers saying that Bitcoin is about to drop to like 13,000 or something like that. It's hard to find those individuals. It does look like, from a technical perspective, Bitcoin's tremendously oversold. Same for XRP and other cryptocurrencies out there. So I don't see a reason to be fearful. We got long-term viability with XRP. The markets, yes, it's way down from all-time highs when the crypto market cap as an asset class was at $3 trillion. And as I record this today, it's at 1.3 trillion, so down over 50%. I just don't see the reason to be fearful. Like this asset class isn't going to go away. It's volatile, sure, and it scares people. And there's going to be at some point a cleansing because you don't need the roughly 20,000 cryptocurrencies on the planet that exist today. Okay, fine, I recognize all that. But I'm going to keep monitoring this literally on a daily basis for years and years and years on end. And I'll keep talking about it because it's fun to run this YouTube channel. But, you know, as things change, that will affect what I'm investing in. Like right now, I am holding coins that I think are going to go to zero. But I don't think XRP is one of them. I think XRP is going to stay because, again, it solves real problems for real people. But damn, there's just so much opportunity. Wait till things go parabolic. Wait till there's another alt season. I think it's going to happen. But we shall see. I'm not a financial advisor. You should not buy or sell anything because of anything I say or write. So that would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo.